Welcome to this week's Nomad's Guide to the World. I am the Alpha Bear. I'm being joined tonight by the Captain, the Bandit, and good old Saber once again. How you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good.
You can't complain.
Work.
Really?
Wow.
Work?
I got back. I had a wedding this weekend.
Oh yeah? How was it?
It was excellent. I danced with everyone there. The girls were fantastic. The guys, they were a little standoffish, but eventually they came around.
Well, maybe if you'd stop grabbing the guy's ass.
Well, for those who don't watch The Doctor, that comment's going to sound really weird. I did do the giraffe, and people looked at me weird. Do the giraffe!
I love the giraffe. Good old Matty Ice.
Basically, for you who don't know, the giraffe is where you put your hands up in the air and you shake them around. And
Yeah,
you,
you
like
put your arms completely vertical up above your head, and then you shake your head back and forth
From
side
really-
to arms.
What's really funny is that Al's doing it, Alpha Bear's doing it while trying to describe it on the radio.
Yep. It's not working very well. Alright, my arms are tired. Anyway.
I had to get that joke out of the way. I've been waiting for it since the wedding ended.
Don't worry, soon enough we'll start making video.
I tell you what,
We're going to set up the camera here real soon.
Catholic, the best way to describe a Catholic wedding is stand up, sit down, fight, fight, fight.
Yes.
Yeah. If you got a bad back or a bad knee, a Catholic wedding is like,
Not for you.
no.
Not for you.
The guy who got married, great guy, but he doesn't hear very well in the right ear, so the priest is up there mumbling, whispering real quietly there. He's just like, oh. Oh, was I supposed to say that? What'd you say? It was a great time, though.
Oh, I bet. Sounds like a good time.
I like weddings. I tell you what, we had a limousine there, right? Obviously, it's a wedding. But the problem is it was an old limousine, and the AC didn't work in it anymore.
Ooh.
So it was like 1,000 degrees in there. And when we finally pulled into the reception hall, this lady was sitting there with a beer for all of us. That was the best tasting beer I have ever had in my life.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
Because it was like 1,000 degrees at the church, 1,000 degrees in the limo. You show up, and there's a perspiring beer waiting for you.
Wait a minute, were you in full tuxedo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wool tuxedo.
Yeah, that's how
That's
it was.
just
That's
stupid.
how it was at my best friend's wedding last year. Hottest day of the year. In full tuxedo.
Why is it that Catholics always insist on getting married when it's extremely hot? Because the last Catholic wedding I was in, stand up, sit down, fight, fight, fight. Let's go outside and stand up in June.
Because most Catholics want to get married in the summer, because most Catholics are football fans, and they don't want to get married anytime in the fall to interrupt their precious football.
Because last Catholic wedding, I spent half of it in the bathroom vomiting my guts up because I was dehydrated from standing outside in August. It was 150 degrees outside. You're in a black tuxedo standing in the sun.
And then they wonder.
And they sit there and go, well, can you position yourself? Just no, quit positioning me. Take the damn epic photo so I can get out of here.
Before I die.
It'll be in the middle of winter outside for you.
Would you please?
Yes.
I want a winter wedding where you have to wear Carhartts. So that way I don't have to rent a tuxedo. Well, and then
Or make a tuxedo out of the Carhartt material.
Yeah. Well, I always like people are like, oh, what'd you get them for their wedding? What do you mean what I get them for their wedding? Well, you have to give them a gift. Well, I was in the wedding.
They're
That was
lucky
their
I'm
gift.
wearing fucking pants, alright? That's gift enough.
No, I mean,
Wait. You're supposed to wear pants at weddings?
Yes.
That explains so much.
You can wear a kilt because you're Irish.
That's Scottish, but yes.
Close enough. You're short, cranky. You can
Listen,
pass.
nobody wants to see that. That will
Ever.
burn everybody's eyes
Yeah,
out.
but might get him killed.
No, that will burn everybody's eyes
No,
out.
because
Then
I
the
also have
world will all of
Claymore.
a sudden catch on fire and apocalypse immediately.
But
I'm gonna go get killed.
I've never understood the wedding tradition of giving wedding gifts. I mean, a little bit because they're getting together and you have to help them get started out and all that. But in the modern day, because nobody does it right anymore, so many of them are already living together and have all the crap, and then it comes down to rather than giving them useful things. Oh, I got them a gift certificate to go out and get a steak dinner somewhere. And then you have to go rent a tuxedo, $179, and then on top of that they want, hey, excuse me, what did you get me for a wedding gift? What the hell? Now these people didn't do that. These people were legitimately, I've known him my entire life. She's wonderful. It was a great wedding. I was glad to pay the $179 for the tuxedo because it was an honor to be in the wedding.
Well, that's good. That's good. Weddings are always fun.
Wait a minute, where did they do the tuxedo?
Men's Warehouse.
Really? That's where my friend did his, but it was only like 140
Inflation's a
Inflation.
bitch.
in a year.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, we had a contraction.
You're better off going and just buying a suit.
Oh, and
I have
last
suit
night
suits.
do you still have that document, or you don't? Do you? I meant to bring that up. We finally found out the difference between a tuxedo and a
Oh.
suit.
Actually, it might still be up on my phone.
Anyway, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. We've got a great show for you tonight. No, we
All
found
right.
it. Never mind. We'll talk about it now.
Okay, sweet. All right, so I've always sat there and wondered. I don't know anything about fashion at all.
Of course. You got something between your legs.
And I'm not against dressing up and looking nice. I just hate dressing up and looking nice because somebody always has some little
Something to say.
say about it. And like, I had this tuxedo was 4 button, okay, on the vest. I paid for 4 buttons, but the lady says you never bottom the bottom button on your tuxedo. Why? She said, well, that's not the style. I said, then why did I pay for a 4th button? Why not just put 3 on it? And then not have anything at the bottom? She goes, well, that wouldn't look right. Well, it doesn't look right to leave a button unbuttoned. You don't walk around with your shirt unbuttoned.
Actually, a lot of people do now.
Well, that's because they're morons. Anyways,
I agree.
but she had a nose ring, so clearly she understood fashion. That's how these people work. All right, so a suit versus tuxedo. This is from Diffin.com. A suit has, with their shirt, is a plain front shirt, long sleeve, full length, buttoned. Tuxedo shirts either are pleated in the front and can be worn with cufflinks, studs, or other similar accessories. Which was weird because this tuxedo didn't have pleats in the front, but I'm really glad it didn't. Your jackets, I've always wondered, why can't I just get a black jacket with black pants and call it a tuxedo? They're different. A suit is made of the same material as the rest of the jacket lapels are different. In a suit, the lapels are made of the same material as the rest of the jacket. In a tuxedo, jacket lapels are covered in satin. Of your pants, suit, you have no satin stripe on the outside. Tuxedos, you have a satin stripe going down the outer leg of the pants. Shoes, with a suit, you wear smart, formal shoes like Oxfords, Derbies, or smart clip-ons. I don't know what that is.
There's clip-on shoes?
Apparently.
Oh, snap.
Shiny, in a tuxedo, you have shiny patent leather shoes. And that has always been the case. Every tuxedo I've had, shiny black shoes.
Yes.
See yourself in them.
Yeah. Then obviously the difference between formal weddings and blah blah blah.
Except by the end of the wedding I went to, mine weren't so shiny. Mine were covered in mud.
Yeah, ours was getting that way. But
Thought you were going to say vomit for a second.
No, we went frogging afterwards.
That is awesome.
I wanted to sleep in a tuxedo, honestly, to make up the amount of money that cost. My money's worth.
I'll bring it back to you in a week. I gotta do some yard work.
No, they charge you for damages.
Yeah, I was so lucky they did not look at the shoes when I returned that suit, because they would have been thoroughly upset.
Now here's one for you. You know, Men's Warehouse, when you rent a suit from them and they give you you get the tie. It's not a real tie.
Yeah.
It's not a clip-on tie. It's like it goes around behind you and it has a little clasp you have to do behind your neck.
Yep.
It's like a damn piece of
If you
wood.
go-
It's actually a classic clip-on.
If you go anywhere, you can still buy those.
Why? Just learn how to tie a tie.
Well, most
don't do
people
that anymore.
most people have hard enough time tying a tie, let alone a bow tie.
It wasn't a bow tie.
It was just a
People
normal
have a
tie.
hard-
Yeah, it's just
tie.
a normal tie.
Oh snap!
People have a hard enough
Last time I rented a
tying
tuxedo,
their
it came with a bow tie.
Yeah, I want a bow tie because bow ties are cool,
Bow ties are cool.
and that's how I got the little ring bearer. He wouldn't wear his suit. I was like, dude, bow ties are cool, and he's like, yeah, all right, and he put it on.
Attaboy. Thank you, Matt Smith.
But I'm sitting there getting ready to do my best man speech, and I wanted to loosen my tie up just a bit, and I kept tugging and tugging and tugging. It doesn't move
Dude,
because the dang thing's adjusted. I'm like,
listen. Once the actual wedding is over, that tie just goes somewhere.
Yeah, but see, I was told no. I was also patted down before I left the house here. I was patted down by my mom to make sure I didn't have a gun on me. She said, guns don't go to weddings. I said, what are you talking about? It's not a wedding to crack a few off.
Did you have the hog with you too? Or did she take that where?
Yeah. But anyways, that's my little wedding spiel. I enjoyed myself. I like weddings. Just tuxedo rentals annoying. It's not like you could buy a tuxedo because everyone always wants a different style tuxedo for the wedding. Screw it, I have one. I'm wearing that.
If you don't like it, too bad.
I just love the getting drunk afterwards and dancing with everybody.
I did have my first dance with a female since high school. And to celebrate, I made pizza.
And forgot
I
her
did the
name.
Q-tip. I remembered it though.
After you looked it up on Facebook. That doesn't count.
It does too count because I didn't remember it after I looked it up on Facebook. I remembered it when I ran into her this morning.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
But
My boy!
Did you remember you?
yes,
She wasn't in some drunken stupor last night.
no, she remembered me. She goes, "You're the guy who did the Q-tip or made pizza." Yes, I was. I was the guy who do the Kevin James dance moves. She liked him. She told me so.
Oh, good.
And then she ran and hid and made up some excuse like, "Oh wow, my car's on fire." I felt bad for her.
I think she likes you.
I think she does. That was a good time though. Anyways, that's enough about me. What about you?
I didn't do anything. I'm currently on today was day 5 of my 9-day homestead of working straight, and now I'm here talking with my good buddies for the Nomad's Guide.
All right.
Captain, why don't you start us off tonight?
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll start off with my big story that I've been just wanting to talk about. A lot of people, have already heard of this, the Solar Roads. And just before starting this, we watched a video that's on the official website. And, well, Bandit had already said his piece.
Not yet.
His angry piece.
Now I'm going to say my intelligent piece.
So,
Is there a difference?
yes. There's the immediate reaction, then there's, everything's kind of
Now everything's
washed
settling
through.
in.
And now I
Had
can
time
make
to
my
think about
practical
it.
argument against it. Because I'm not making fun of hippies. No offense.
Alright.
Anyways, continue.
Hippie, whatever.
I'm not a hippie, I have a motorcycle. It's not powered on hemp.
Or corn.
I killed 18 bald eagles this morning.
It's inlaid with the beaks of 1,000 eagles.
We're never going to get to the story if you don't
No,
start talking
alright,
about
start
this.
talking.
Alright. Anyway, so we watched the video prior to starting this. Basically, they're really trying to get funding in order to make all roadways solar. And basically, they're going to have lights in them. It's going to be out of special tempered glass so that heavy trucks and bulldozers or whatever else you can ride on them can ride over them and not break. They will stay a few degrees warmer than freezing in colder climates. Lights change, blah blah blah. A lot of really cool stuff. So we're going to go to Bandit.
Yes, they make it sound so simple. Oh, you just walk out, you pop in a new panel when a pothole comes up. That works out lovely and well. Except solar panels are ridiculously expensive. And then the reliability of solar technology. I could see this working in an urban environment, like the city, like New York City maybe, down in Florida, places like that. But I could never see this working in places like Columbus, Ohio, where we have massive amount of truck traffic going across. We have really cold winters, which are going to cause fractures in the glass and potential damage to the roadway. Even though if they keep it a couple degrees above freezing, it's still going to have shit freeze on it, like this winter. And then, as Saber was talking about earlier too, they talk about them lighting up and all that. It's going to cause a massive amount of light pollution in places, and that's just going to be a pain in the ass. Now, of course, people go, "Oh, well, you don't like the planet. You care about light pollution." I do. So I like my country drives, and I like them to be dark. And I like the fact that to fix a pothole in the street right now costs a grand total of about $20. I don't think Solar Roadways are going to be $20 per panel to replace. In Ohio, how many days do we have where it's sunny?
They're few and far between.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not really a practical solution. Solar energy is one of those things that people are like, oh, please, I want it to work so bad. Or don't get me started on the electric car thing they were talking about in there. I really probably sound like the dumbest person alive because I don't have my notes ready for this. But Solar Roadway project being a good idea, but I just don't believe that it's practical right now. Yes, they say that's happening, but solar panel technology is not efficient. Alright, so there's Forbes. They go through and they talk about the Solar Roadway. And I will start by saying that I think it is a neat idea. The problem being that there's a reason we don't make roads out of plexiglass now. Because asphalt and concrete hold up to the weight of 4,000 to 10,000 pound vehicles going over top of them much quicker. Now, I will talk about Ohio, because this is where I understand roadways, because I've lived here my whole life. So, they talked about having, how they were going to automatically have the snow melt off the roads. I don't really know how they were planning on doing it. Did they say it in the video and I didn't hear it?
Yeah, they'd be a couple degrees higher.
Yeah, but I mean, how are they going to do that?
It didn't say it has
a heating coil in it?
Yeah, and heating element in it.
So that means that the roads are going to be drawing electricity.
To an extent, but it will only be during the cold season.
During the cold season, but they're going to be drawing electricity. So
and also for the lights.
An electrical charge is going to be
required. But they're LED lights.
That's true, but when you start talking about... There's over a million miles of roadway in the United States. A million miles of LED is going to be a lot of charge. But obviously the whole million miles isn't going to be dark. But the point being that these roads are going to pull current. And it's going to pull a lot of current to keep the roads warm, let's say in Wisconsin. Or this winter where we had, 3 weeks of where it was negative 18 straight.
Which was awesome.
It was pretty cool. So they're going to take a lot of heat to do that. Now, if it's a slow snowfall, I think that those heaters would be able to keep up. However, that night where we got 10 inches in a night, those heaters are not going to be able to keep up with it as it comes down because it's just coming down too quickly. And now you run the potential of getting into freeze thaw, and that's how you get potholes. Whereas yet you're still going to have plow trucks. Not going to cost as much because you don't have to plow small bits. And maybe we wouldn't have to deal with salt on the roads.
Well, I just thought of something with that too, because when you melt that snow, it's going to turn into water. And if you've ever stood on any plexiglass surface with water on it, it's really slick.
Yeah, but if you look at the video, it looked like it wasn't a flat piece of plexiglass.
It's not. It's ribbed somehow.
Ribbed, but still,
yeah,
those ribbed channels create an interesting problem that will come up because you will still have to have plow trucks on the road, at least in places like Ohio, Michigan, anywhere north of the Mason-Dixon line, really. And those plow trucks going across are going to have their plow going along chattering down the road. And this is in the Forbes article. I'm not this smart because I didn't think about the heating element. But I have plowed before. It's going to go down bumping. And it's going to create cracks and crevices as it goes down. Doesn't matter what you line that plow with. It's going to scrape on this road. It's going to do damage to it. And I don't think that these roadways can maintain that. Now, in California, where it doesn't snow, you might have more of a viable option. And I still will say that it sounds like a great idea for the inner city, but I don't see our freeways ever being coated in these things. And can you imagine the amount of copper required to run power lines to every square inch of roadway?
Yeah.
And all I can see now is some stupid guy from West Virginia going, "Hey man, there's a daggone bunch of copper in that highway up there," and killing himself.
Trying to get the copper. Yeah.
I think it's a neat idea, but I just don't think that it's well thought through. There are better places to put solar panels than on the roads.
That's a fair point. That's a very fair point.
I'd rather see people doing all their roofs solar than doing, which would be maybe an interesting way to take these more efficient, better solar panels and putting them on people's roofs instead of using slate shingles and all that stuff.
Yes, definitely.
And then, of course, there's the fact that production of solar panels isn't highly environmentally safe. And they talked about how to make a lot of green jobs here. Most solar panels aren't produced here. Most green job stuff aren't produced here. They're produced overseas and then brought here. So it might make a lot of money for people working here to install them, but the production of it won't happen here because the EPA will never allow it.
That's also a very fair point.
I didn't mean to steal your thunder. I know you're excited about Solar Roadways. I'm just not.
No, I'm actually on the fence about. I mean, I really like the idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It's not the space isn't doing anything right now.
Like, I mean, one of my qualms about this is like, okay, LED lighting so you can change.
That's a neat idea.
Yeah, I do like it, but my problem is what happens on those really sunny days and you can't see any of the lighting.
Yeah.
Here's another thing. You've seen those dot matrix displays that they do that warn people about, there's a traffic delay ahead, wear your seatbelt.
The things up on...
Yeah, they do them on the overpasses for the freeway. How many stories have we heard about them saying, warning, panda attacks, or zombie rampage ahead? I've heard, heard
people just hacking in.
What happens when somebody hacks the roadway and makes it look like Doctor Who?
That would be
Like you're just traveling down the time vortex?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome!
It would be awesome, except all of a sudden there are no road lines.
And everybody's just like, what? Crash.
We've seen how drivers are nowadays.
With road lines. This sounds like it could lead to potentially hilarious pranks and millions of deaths.
You gotta give some to get. You gotta lose some to get some.
Of course, now there's some person who's going to sit there and go, oh, he doesn't have a legitimate argument. He referenced Doctor Who and said that people were going to hack it. But it could happen. And I hope people are prepared for that. Because if there's a way to hack it and cause mischief and make a funny YouTube, Facebook meme, some nerd who has no friends and no hope of ever leaving his mom's basement
What's Vanna?
Is going to do it.
is going to do it to feel good about himself.
Yep.
Are there the people that actually legitimately program it are going to mess with it?
Because they
They're
can.
not paid enough.
Man, this is bullshit, man. I'll show them.
We already see how people react when you take away, how unions react when you ask them to, pay a little bit more into their own retirement accounts. Man, screw that, I'm going on strike. Now they're not going to go on strike. They're just going to hack into the road network and kill a bunch of people.
We'll show you.
All right.
All right, moving along. I have one.
I'm not interested.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
You might be.
Really?
Yeah.
See that one?
This one is from EliteDaily.com, where we get all of our information. Well, most of it anyway. The actor who played the bad guy in the original Jurassic Park just got charged for raping a 13-year-old girl.
Dennis Nedry or
Played what?
Johnson?
The really fat guy?
Dotson, I mean.
Dotson.
Oh.
Says
He seemed
here,
like a pedophile.
says here, quote, bad news, Jurassic Park fans. Actor Cameron Thor, who played Lewis Dotson in the original film, has been charged with raping a 13-year-old girl. Thor allegedly raped the girl over a period of 11 months in 2008 and 2011. He is currently being held on a $2.6 million bail in a Los Angeles prison and will go before a judge on June 19th. Needless to say, Thor will not be appearing in the new Jurassic Park film, Jurassic World, which is slated to be released 1 year from Tuesday, June 12th, 2015.
Wasn't he only in like 2 scenes?
Yeah,
He was.
But
He was.
He ultimately, this is one of the deals where when they altered the Lost World, the movie, that they kind of screwed up the Jurassic Park's timeline because Dotson was a really important character in the second book because he hired Nedry in the first book to go and steal the engine technology. And when he did that, and Nedry failed, he became obsessed with getting it himself, so he organized an expedition to go to Isla Sorna to, find the dinosaurs, capture them, take them back, whatever. And that's in the book. It was the same people who tried to screw up the first one, not the engine itself.
Isla Sorna was the second place, right?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the Site B.
Gotcha. Okay, Site B.
The raptors were in the cave.
Isla Nublar, or whatever how you pronounce it, was the main
Isla
park.
Nublar.
Yeah.
Isla Nublar.
Was the original main park, the tourist attraction.
You are an attention whore, aren't you?
That's Savannah, everyone. But yeah, so this falls under my category of I really think that most actors and actresses are secretly evil people. Not really. It is. Has he done anything ever other than in Jurassic Park for 5 minutes?
Saber, producer Saber, why don't you look that up for us?
Look at what?
Black zone,
Oh.
black hole
Well, fine.
You're
of
fired.
death.
Could you look it up for us? IMDb it.
And someone does not ever want to give me their internet password.
Yeah, because I know what you'll do with it.
The porno. Anyway.
No, that's
move-
you. I mean, so
No.
what am I looking up on IMDb?
His name is Cameron Thor.
Cameron Thor. Okay.
Yep.
Because he's not that good of an actor, and I don't think he's been in really anything exciting. So is this just?
They don't even have his picture on IMDb.
So he's probably not been in much.
So
He's
Did
been.
he-
1993 was the last thing he was
Jurassic
known
Park.
for in Jurassic Park.
So basically, what happened is
He was in A Few Good Men.
Washed up.
Wait.
who was he in A Few Good Men?
Yeah, he was in A Few Good Men.
It just says he was an actor.
Oh, so
Hold on.
Background.
he probably cleaned his glasses. No, I think he was. He might have been one of the guards, or
Someone with no lines.
no, he had a couple lines. I think I can remember seeing his face, but I can't remember. But anyways, so basically, here's a guy who his acting career is washed up. He has nothing to fall back on because he's an actor and they don't have
Okay.
morals, apparently. So he goes out and commits a
Go on.
horrible crime. Why are we giving him airtime?
Because I know you like Jurassic Park, and I thought it would be something good to talk about.
I just
Hold
hate
on a
that people
second.
give these celebrities airtime when they do stupid things. Just lock them up and throw them in a pit.
I don't know what CDR stands for in the military. Do you guys know?
CDR. That is one I've never heard of.
Like, the only thing I can think of is cadre, and I don't even think that's military.
Oh, Commander.
Commander Lawrence is who he played.
In A Few Good Men.
Yeah, I remember him now. I don't remember his line, but yeah, now you say it. It's like light bulb.
He's
Anyway.
just at rank. I wish
$2.6
I-
million bail. It's going to go in front of a judge. Probably get locked up for the rest of his life.
Good, I hope he
lied.
does.
He was in some movie called Roar last year,
Well, clearly it was horrible.
and in a TV movie called Ring of Fire.
But those TV movies, I tell you what.
Those are for the actors who really don't have nowhere else to go. Moving right on along, Batman.
Yes.
Batman is celebrating its 75th anniversary this year.
So
And-
Batman is celebrating its non-gender specific birthday.
Yes. DC Comics is celebrating 75 years of The Dark Knight with a free comic book. On July 23rd, aka Batman Day, DC Comics will give away free copies of Detective Comics issue number 27. No, not the actual 1939 comic that introduced people to Batman, but a retelling of the original story by best-selling author Brad
Meltzer.
Meltzer, thank you.
So basically, they're gonna. I really have no idea what happened to start Batman. I mean, I've never heard the story of how Batman started.
You haven't read the first,
I'm
Bat-
joking.
I was about to say, the first
Everyone knows
year
how
one.
Batman started.
Yeah, his parents got killed in an alley or something.
Yeah, they left a opera.
They
theater
left the
house.
show because he was afraid, and they walked outside. They walked out the back down an alley. They got mugged. The
Listen,
mugger has changed over time.
My favorite. I really wish that they had kept the Joker
as the mugger.
as the mugger in the new ones, just because that was brought things full circle and really made it him when he threw him off the top of the building and saved him anyways. That makes that so much more of a deeper scene, other than just, oh, I'm taking a moral stand. I'm saving the man who made me have to become this.
What was the name of that one that they're giving away for free? I'm gonna see if I can download it.
It's just going to be a retelling of the original 1939 Detectives comic issue number 27. and it won't be released until July 23rd.
Then why would you even say anything?
To let you know that it's coming, July 23rd, Batman Day.
Yep. Well, now he's gonna go home, slit his wrists.
And he's gonna write it down on his calendar. He's gonna circle it 19 times with a big old red marker, and be ready for it when it happens.
Apparently, they brought back Batman Beyond.
To comic book?
Yeah, Batman Beyond 2.0.
Huh.
Well,
I was never. All of my friends were really into Batman Beyond. I wasn't.
I didn't get as into it as I thought I would.
I did. I just have a really hard time with the, we're changing the main character and keeping things alive to keep along the genres type stories. The passing the whip, if you will.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. But I've got a couple more lists here from Elite Daily that we'll talk about in a little bit.
We got other things.
I was passing the torch. Calm your tits. Okay, I got this.
Listen.
You're allowed to punch him.
Death glare fight. In this corner, weighing in at 475 pounds, Alpha Bear.
Wow. Jeez. I'm not morbidly obese, people.
Yes, we have to wheel him in and out.
I see how it is.
450 is enough. I mean,
We have to wheel him in and out of the studio.
With a forklift.
I mean, he orders cookies by the pallet.
Thanks, guys.
And he's going to edit all this out because he makes us sound like jerks.
Whatever.
He edits out every other word we say.
Whatever.
I think he just edits everything. He takes all the words we say and make it so that we say what he wants us to say.
You mean like those videos that people do with the president singing the Star Spangled Banner without ever singing the Star Spangled Banner?
Now you just hear changing tones all the time. Alpha Bear is just this horrible person who cannot read and should die.
And it'll be the Alpha Bear is the best friend I have ever had in the world.
It sounds like whose line is it anyways? We're sitting there going, the
Bear
is
great.
Awesome.
Oh, three-headed Broadway star. Whose line is it anyway? You can only say one word at a time.
Anyway, moving on.
Sidebar, I think that if we ever got together as a group, we could totally pull off Whose Line Is It Anyway.
Yeah, because you're fat enough to be Drew Carey.
Wow. And I could just be the one that you make fun of the whole time.
That's the same exact show we do here.
it makes Drew Carey look skinny. Let's be honest.
Drew Carey doesn't have to have a forklift.
Damn.
Wow.
Posting a picture of myself like, ah.
And we're going to edit it. Just blow you up. Get a picture of like an orca whale or something and put your head on top.
Damn.
Like, not photoshopped at all.
You guys are great. Anyway, moving right on along.
Don't worry. I wouldn't do that to you. But I'd laugh at the picture.
Amelia would. Anyways, moving along, I would like to take it to a serious destination. As many people know, this week we honored the 70th anniversary of a major event in history. June 6th, 2014 was 70 years ago the liberation of Europe began. The liberation of Europe from the grips of fascism began. The largest naval invasion of history took place on the beaches of Normandy. 70 years ago, the West stood up against fascist tyranny. I want everyone to think about, this coming week. I didn't get to say it, obviously, because I didn't think about it last week. But while you're out there playing in the sun and watering your lawn, remember that. That's 70 years ago, the battle for Europe was raging. 70 years ago, men were fighting and dying to preserve the liberties valued by Western culture from the tyranny of Eastern fascism. And on top of that, I really wish I was better at talking, because that would have sounded a lot better. But I have a great story that is not political. Believe it or not, 100% not political.
He's lying.
It's not. There's an 89-year-old vet that was told by his nursing home that he could not join his comrades in Normandy. They said, you cannot go. The man's name was Bernard Jordan. He's 89 years old. He was told by the staff at Pine Nursing Home in Fres Hill that he could not travel to be with his comrades in Normandy on the 70th anniversary. Well, that Thursday, he went missing. Nursing home called the police, informing them the veteran had since disappeared, leaving around 10:30. This guy was in the British Navy military, not the American. So this Royal Navy veteran wears medals under a raincoat and met his former comrades on a coach. They ended up in northern France about 12 hours later. He was going to Normandy with or without permission. I really want to know what these nursing home people were thinking. Here's a man who took the beaches of Normandy, went up against the Iron Curtain of Nazi Germany, bullets flying at him, ran up the beach, took it, and they said, "Oh no, you can't go." They really think that was going to keep him going?
You can't go. Watch me.
Probably crawled out the window and everything.
He called the nursing home and told him I was in France and I'm doing fine. And the comrade said that he'd make sure that Jordan got home safe. They tweeted out, "Love this 89-year-old veteran reported missing by care home who said he can't go to Normandy for D-Day 70. Remember, we found him there." People underestimate the greatest generation like that anymore. I mean, like when they shut down the World War II memorial here, do they really think putting up some little barricades, wire tied together, that's going to stop these men from getting in there? And I think it's a shame that we don't have people like that today who are that determined. Like, I'm going to do it.
That's because everybody today is just so sissified.
A little lethargical, I think, is a good term for it. They're waiting.
Lazy.
They're always waiting.
Well, if I wait long enough, it'll work out.
I don't think they're lazy. I just think everybody's just too afraid of what might happen. Whatever happens to people just doing things and
Standing up for what they...
not permission.
Well, I'm not going out there saying everyone should go out there and riot in the streets and do what they want, but, you know, the whole concept of I'm going to make the world a better place, I'm going to make things happen for me by being proactive about it. Any more people are like, oh, I don't want to do that. If you told somebody to go and they're going to take the beaches and normally they say, oh, maybe we should do a study. Can we do an environmental impact study on what's going to happen if we start shelling the beach? It's going to get bigger.
Yeah.
It's going to have swimming pools in it now. Environmental study done. The D-Day invasion just said so much about the Allies at the time, the people, the American forces that were there. Theodore Roosevelt's grandson, I think it was, landed in Normandy, but they landed like 2.5 miles away from where they were supposed to be.
Omaha?
Yeah, they landed in the wrong spot. And what they said was, everyone looked around and looked at the map, realized in the wrong spot, and he said, well, we start the war from here. And they went on with it. Now I think there'd be people who have to call it, is it okay? Can I do it? Is this all right? Are you sure we can start from here? Hold on, let's have a committee discuss it. All right, so what do we think? Do we think we do it? What about the political fallout? Do we let them start from there? What if they shoot a cat while they're over there instead of a Nazi? I just missed the ability that Americans used to have back then of the
initiative
and the ability to think on their
Well,
feet.
a lot of times
It's because
the military is not allowed to think on their feet
And
anymore.
that's the problem.
That's what's going on with society today. Nobody wants you to just figure things out. They want you to go to a higher power.
No,
Yeah,
no,
then-
it's not even that. It's we live in a society today where if Saber has right in front of him right now a bottle of vitamin water. If he was looking for said vitamin water, that's sitting in front of him right now. The society that we live in today, he would walk up to me, the employee at the store that he's looking for, standing right in front of the vitamin water, and say, "Excuse me, sir, where's the vitamin water?" And expect me to be like, "Oh, it was right here in front of you the whole time. Here
I
you
actually
go."
literally had someone do that to me the other day at work.
I'm standing in the beer department at work, and someone walks up to me while I'm stocking beer and says, "Excuse me, sir, where's the beer?" I kid you not, I looked at him and I was like, "You're in the beer department, sir." And he looked around and he was like, "Ha! If it was a snake, it would have bit me." That's not funny and that's not cute. That's really sad.
Well, it's because he's probably drunk.
That's something that happens quite often, but
What, people getting drunk?
that too.
Or people being stupid? I think we need a
Both.
It's almost time for chlorine in the gene pool, I think. And I'm not saying let's kill people. All I'm saying is just take the warning labels off of everything and see what happens. It's a horrible thing to say, but seriously. I'm tired of these warning labels. My hammer has a warning label on it that says where proper hand and eye protection. I swear to God, the day I see a hammer that has wear proper hearing protection, I'm going to whoever comes up with these regulations, and I'm going to beat them with that hammer and ask them if their hearing protection helped.
No, that's a liability thing.
Well,
that's because
For who?
The company that makes the hammer.
Look, the company makes the hammer.
Alphabet.
What you do with the hammer, that's on you.
All right, so
It
what about
doesn't
the lady
matter.
that sued McDonald's for spilling
The
hot
world we
coffee
live
on
in-
herself?
Okay,
no,
Because
listen.
she's a moron.
The way they
No, okay.
won.
I want you to get this. Okay, all right. I work at Costco, right? We have signs on the cart corrals that say Costco is not liable for loose carts.
That's how it should be.
Do you think if that weren't there, people would not sue Costco for a loose cart?
Oh, I'm sure they
Here's-
would.
Exactly. That's the liability. That's why that warning is
Here's
on the
Here's the
hammer.
problem. No, the reason the warning is on the hammer is because these lawsuits are allowed to go through. We need what's called tort reform in this country, which basically will change it so that you can't go and do these frivolous lawsuits. Sure, you can, but you're going to have a financial liability. I honestly think that if you go in with one of these lawsuits,
They should laugh at you.
no, I'm suing you because your coffee is too hot, and you lose, you should be liable for everything that you sued them for. So that way people will sit there and think twice about.
That's because you can sue people for anything that I don't like you. You looked at me weird. I'm taking you to court.
And it comes back to the sissification of the nation. Grow up, get a pair. Coffee's hot. Don't be a moron.
Hammer heavy, hit self in hand, going to hurt. That's no one's fault but yours for being stupid.
Okay.
Why are you looking at me? when
I'm
you say
sorry, I was just looking in your general
All right,
direction.
look,
that? You're pointing at me too.
as the best for being,
Sue you.
He said,
Look, we're
I
trying
was
to be super serious. This is the first time we've actually gotten heated on this freaking podcast, and then you come with a stupid comment like that.
and that's why he's fired. So, for being a groomsman in this wedding, I got a felt box, like a ring box. And inside that ring box was a brand new, freshly honed case pocket knife. And case pocket knives are pretty much the end-all be-all when it comes to quality. They're some of the finest pocket knives you'll ever use. Now, inside there was, of course, the pocket knife, and then this little piece of paper fell out. I was figuring it was going to be like a warranty note or something like that. No, it product quality information. It talks about the famous case trademark. Okay, we know that. The case edge, bragging about how sharp their edge is. Caring for your knife, make sure you oil it. Limited lifetime warranty. But this is the one that got me. Proper knife use. I did not know that this was something that was up in the air. This was an issue that people had. How to properly use a pocket knife.
Well, let's be honest. Alpha Bear cut himself opening my pocket knife.
But it wasn't on purpose, okay?
No, it never is.
You made it seem like I was just like, huh?
Is this short?
I know people that do that.
Yeah, and I'm not one of them.
Oh, I'm bleeding.
"Oh, I'm bleeding, George. Can we go to the
Hospital. Take me to the hospital, George.
No, because if I take you to the hospital, you won't learn anything.
So, proper knife use. The blade of every case knife is honed. And this is directly from the paper. They will vouch for it. The blade of every case knife is honed to an extremely sharp edge. Really? We ask that you be very cautious with opening, closing, using, or sharpening your knife. You expect Case to deliver high-quality razor-sharp knives. In turn, you and anyone using a Case knife must use Case knives with the utmost wisdom and care. Case knives are tools exclusively for cutting applications. Case knives are not designed and should never be used as an awl, chisel, pry bar, punch, screwdriver, or weapon.
Wait, a knife is a weapon.
No,
It wasn't designed to be a weapon.
it's not a lock blade.
That just means it's a stupid weapon.
Knives are not like guns. They're not all weapons. Some knives are designed to spread butter with. Some knives are designed to cut things with. If you use it as a weapon, that's your problem.
There's an average of 25,560 things in an average living room that I could use to kill you, including the room itself. They are all weapons.
But
in
they're
that
not designed to be
instance.
weapons. Just like
It's
actually,
repurposing.
a gun. Even a gun is not designed to be a weapon. A gun is simply designed to harness the chemical energy released from a mechanical spring striking a primer, which releases the chemical energy stored within the gunpowder, propelling a bullet out of the chamber. What you do with it is your business, but it's not a weapon.
That is how a gun works, folks.
Anyways, use for any purpose other than cutting application is a misuse of the knife. Okay, well, so they said it's not a weapon, but if I'm using, so that means I can't throw it at you. If I'm cutting you with it, that's okay. Case said that if I cut him with it, that is a proper application.
You can't stab though.
I can't stab. Only cutting.
No stabbing. Gotta practice my stabbing.
And how many times did they use case knives? Let 5-sentence paragraph.
You have to promote the brand.
I already bought it.
That's your problem.
Thank you for reading this case guide into the case knife that you're about to use. Here at Case.
Well, we really like the fact that you
I'm
buy
on the Case website right now, and did you know that Case is owned by Zippo?
Really?
Yes.
That's kind of interesting.
That's good news. So I have my lighter serviced. I can set my knife and have it serviced.
There you go.
There you go.
But it really is a nice whole kit here. I mean, black. What kind of box would you call that? Is it felt?
Felt.
Yeah, felt.
Black
Yeah.
felt. Open it up, a little silk thing in there with the knife and everything. I thought he was proposing to me, not her.
It's like, you knew.
You knew what I wanted.
You knew what I wanted. I love you, man.
Anyway,
moving along. Here goes the first of...
Whoa. You just gonna skip people like that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. You've been dismissed.
They're
Good day.
boondoggle for it.
You're on Facebook.
Yeah, because my things are on Facebook. I told you.
how
I
are you
put them
dismissing
on there.
him? He runs the show.
Yes.
You're
Because I
fired.
can.
If anything, you were dismissed.
Alpha Bear, you're fired.
No.
It's his show. How are we firing him? We don't have access to any of the editing equipment.
I don't know. Figure it out.
We need a new friend.
We need a friend that knows how to work all this stuff.
Hey, you know we could get Alpha Bear.
Yeah, let's get him.
But we just
Hey,
fired
Alpha,
him.
would
And
you like a
killed
job?
And he killed himself.
Alpha Bear, would you like a job?
This is my job.
Anyway, moving on to my thing. Alright, this actually made me upset. There is a first grader, I did not read what city, that got suspended from school. Going up to... Okay, first of all, I'm going to give you some background. This kid left his backpack in a friend's parents' car while getting a ride home. So his mother gives him another backpack. This other backpack happens to have a toy gun in it. He's not supposed to have this, but the child did not realize that it was in there, and neither did the mother. So, kid goes to school, opens up his backpack, finds it, he's like, oh. Goes up to the teacher, gives it to her, is like, I'm not supposed to have this. The kid is suspended.
Yes, because it's zero tolerance. And zero tolerance means zero tolerance for intelligence.
Why are we punishing people for doing what's right?
They punish kids for eating a suspended a kid for eating a Pop-Tart into the shape of a gun. They suspended a kid for putting their thumb up in the air and pointing their pointer finger at someone going bang. Because your pointer finger and your thumb is a gun. You have been suspended. Because I wasn't going to talk about gun control for once. But there's this... Progressives are these type of people who think that if they keep perpetuating this idea that guns kill people, that people will start believing it. They will start believing that if you make everyone afraid of guns, that all of a sudden, mass murders won't happen. That people will suddenly just all mentally be right in the head and not go around trying to kill a bunch of people, like that propane tank sitting behind you. I could easily turn that into a bomb and blow you up and kill more people with that than I could with the 40 caliber handgun in my pocket. I just said way too much. But the point being...
Fertilizer?
Fertilizer and diesel fuel. More dangerous than a gun.
You don't even need the diesel fuel.
There's an article I just read. We're going to do anything we can to keep from...
fertilizer, isn't that what they used in the bombing in
ammonium
Texas?
nitrate. And ammonium nitrate is one of the active ingredients in fertilizer.
Yeah.
But to do a proper size bomb, you need like 50 pounds of fertilizer.
All right, that's
Okay,
enough.
one
Moving
bag.
on.
Okay, sorry. Anyways, just talking about that, on June 7th,
This isn't the Anarchist Cookbook. Keep going.
I
What?
get that.
I'm
Thank you.
leaving.
Don't worry. You can download it for free. Who cares?
Yeah,
Alright.
you can put it on a watch list. I'm not allowed to fly for the next 3 years.
All right. On June 7th, Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America founder Shannon Watts said a good guy with a gun has never stopped a bad guy with a gun. So basically, Moms Demand Actions for Nonsense and Stupidity, a founder went on and said, the question, this was on CNN, host Victor Blackwell. Blackwell said, I want to challenge you on something, Shannon. Wayne LaPierre, that's the guy in charge of NRA, if anyone didn't know, the executive director of the NRA, after Sandy Hook, said the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. And I think essentially what gun right proponents are saying is they want their wives to be able to carry, to be a good person with the gun. Is there an example in school shootings or mall shootings or these public facilities where that has been wrong? Where a bad guy with a gun has been stopped in any other way or by a person other than a law enforcement officer with a gun or by killing themselves? Miss Watts responded, this has never happened. Data shows it not happening. Unfortunately, she's a moron. In February 2013, an armed guard in Atlanta subdued a disarmed shooter at an Atlanta middle school. That's not a police officer. It's a guard. They are not sworn to protect anyone. They're hired. They're called rent-a-cops for a reason. December 16th, an Arapahoe High School shooting lasted only 80 seconds because the school's armed resource officer closed in on a shooter who subsequently killed himself. June 6th, Breitbart News reported on how a good guy with a gun stopped a bad guy with a gun who was attacking a courthouse in Georgia. November 7th, guns are used defensively. Breitbart News reported that guns are used defensively an estimated 2,082 times a day in the United States. That's over 2,000 times a day a good guy with a gun acts to stop a bad guy armed with a weapon of some sort.
Also, have you ever heard of the Army? They're good guys with guns.
You were in, I don't
stopping
know about that.
bad guys with guns every day.
Alright, going back to my favorite site, justthefacts.com. Let's go down to why people own guns. So, a poll was done in 2005. I know it's a little old, but so they asked people why they had guns. 67% of them said protection against crime. 66% target shootings, 58% hunting. So obviously they're allowed to answer more than one. But everyone goes, oh, they just want guns to go out hunting. Most people have them to protect themselves from crime. So if a good guy has never stopped a bad guy with a gun, why do all these people have them? Clearly they're worthless. Maybe I should go after the man with an assault who has a semi-automatic, scary-looking rifle with a baseball bat. Because that sounds safe. I guarantee you the day that guns are no longer necessary to defend the peace or protect myself, I'll go around selling flowers. Not really.
I want
It's
to
gonna
see
be a
this.
long wait.
Gonna be a long ways to go.
I have all sorts of gun statistics.
It's
If
never going to
anyone-
happen. Okay.
If anyone wants, because the issue here is not the gun. Everyone looks at the gun. The gun is not the problem. The problem is, I could take a gun out, set it on this table, point it at you, and you will not die. That gun will sit there until the crack of doom and will not fire. Why? Because all a gun is a spring. That spring pushes a pin forward that strikes a firing pin, strikes a primer, which ignites gunpowder, releases chemical energy. It expands in a gas and pushes a bullet out of the end of a barrel. That's all it does.
It's actually really easy to make a gun if you think about it.
It's a pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if I take and point that gun at you, squeeze the trigger off, I just killed you. The gun didn't kill you. What made that trigger pull? Guns have nothing to make pull the trigger. There's no element on a gun designed to pull the trigger. It's a man pulling the trigger. That stabbing they had down in the mass murder they had in California, where the guy went and stabbed somebody killed 3 people with a knife, ran over 2 people with his car, and shot 3 people. Everyone ran out and was outraged and demanded gun control. They only killed 3. He shot 4 people, only killed 3. He killed everyone he stabbed.
And everyone you ran over.
I don't think he killed the people he ran over.
Just said that.
No, he ran them over. I didn't say they died.
Or you said he killed 2 people with his car.
Well, sorry, that was misspoken. I didn't mean to say that. He ran them over with his car. Typically, when you run over a cyclist with a car, they die. But last I heard, they were in critical condition. So
they still have an opportunity to die.
yeah. But everyone's like, oh, we need gun control. Nobody ever calls for pressure cooker control after the Boston Marathon bombing. Should call for pressure cooker control. And I'm just rambling now because I'll keep waiting for Al to turn the light off, and he's not doing it. He keeps saying, "Keep talking, Rob. Keep going on this rant."
Because it's rude of me to just interrupt you and just be like, stop
When
it.
has that ever stopped you?
Okay, well,
you could make it a comment. I like tater tots.
I don't have any comments because you're the authority on this.
We will call.
I just nod my head and learn things when you talk.
Anyway, we will call for a digress back to the subject. Anyway,
it's ridiculous. They need to get rid of these zero tolerance policies of guns in schools. You need to say, look, don't bring guns to school. Why? Because you shouldn't have them there. You don't need them there. It's a place of learning.
Yeah, and that's why, I'm not even going to say anything. Well, I'm not going to say what I was about to say.
Say it.
No.
I promise I won't go off.
He's lying.
You're going to agree.
Oh, let's say it.
Well, it's just the fact that they say you don't need weapons here. Well, that's why you should allow people to have weapons. Because the people that know that are willing to go on these crazy rampages are the ones who are going to bring the guns and shoot up all these little children. We've seen it multiple times already.
That's the key issue that everyone overlooks when there's a mass shooting at the school. They go in, they start shooting, and the situation is resolved as soon as the police get there. But not because the police get there, but because the massacre's done. Our high school is literally 5 seconds away from the police station. You could spit and hit the police station. The police chief still says it takes 15 minutes to get the SWAT team to the school. 15 minutes is enough time for him to clear the building.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll just fill our time while you're out there with your pop.
People think that just because there's a law about it, people are going to obey it. You can ban guns all you want. They want to kill someone with a gun. They're going to just go get a gun illegally.
Most likely.
And commit another illegal act to kill someone.
The problem is that banning guns doesn't lead to the solution. Because the problem is not the gun. The problem is the person using the gun. Banning guns is simply going up and saying, I cut my finger. Or, better yet, let's go with this example. I have cancer. Banning guns is going to the doctor and getting a shot for the flu. You're not going to get the flu, but you still have the issue of the fact you have cancer. Hold on, the dog's running away.
As he swaggers out there. I said, get in the house.
Get in the house.
The one thing I said to do without fail is get in the house.
Hey, I'm watching you. But yeah, so you can ban guns all you want, but until you solve the real problem. So it's like, okay, my car's leaking oil. Alright, well, you can put JB Weld up on where the oil's coming out and think that's going to fix it, or you can go and actually fix the oil leak. Fixing the oil leak is going to be harder, but it will actually solve the problem. Banning guns is like saying, oh, my car's leaking oil, I'll add a quart, problem solved. That's not solved. It's just mass. It's a Band-Aid.
Pretty much, and it's going to destroy our country, which was built on freedom. We're no longer going to have freedom. But then again, China's going to own us in 50 years, so what does it matter?
The Federal Reserve owns us.
I'm surprised they're giving it 50 years.
The Federal Reserve owns most of our debt, so we own most of our own debt. So,
For now.
Yeah. But anyway, so the next day, the mother was so outraged about the fact that her son was suspended that she sent him to school anyway.
Good. I hope she did.
And the principal called. Let me see. Find the exact quote. This is quoting the mother. I got a phone call from the principal at 9 a.m. and she said, Darren is not to be in school today. I said, I'm sending him to school because he is entitled to be in school and be educated. Which I would have done, personally.
Yeah.
All right. Here's one for you. Some interesting gun statistics while he's reading. In 1994, a survey was conducted by the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention found that Americans used guns to frighten away intruders who were breaking into their home about 498,000 times per year. In 2001, they reported that there were roughly about 18,498 gun-related accidents that resulted in death or an emergency room visit that year. That's 27 times lower than the amount of times that people use guns to protect their home and their families than the amount of times that people accidentally shot themselves.
And the people that accidentally shot themselves should probably be lined up on a wall and shot anyway.
And now we're canceled.
Tell me I'm wrong.
And because we're talking about guns, it's important to talk, and we talked about knife safety. Don't let Alpha Bear touch it. Gun safety, always keep the gun pointed in a safe direction, whether it's loaded or unloaded. Always keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Always keep the gun unloaded until you're ready to shoot. Oops. Be aware of what's behind your target. So if I'm shooting at a paper target, I need to make sure there's a backstop behind it so my round is not going to continue. My M1 Garand's effective range is 1,400 feet.
And the bullet travels much farther.
Listen, these are all basic rules that we can teach children at the age of 3.
I actually think firearm handling should be taught in school. I'm not saying that we should take all the kids out and train them how to shoot guns. Teach them how to hold them. Teach them how to use them, and teach them the safe rules behind them.
What
That'll
not
also
to
take
do.
away some of the
mystique.
Yeah. Instead of seeing a gun and being like, oh my god, I have to go touch this.
Oh my god,
they're going to be like, oh, look, it's a gun.
I always knew growing up where the guns were. I knew where the ammunition was, and I could get to them. But I never did because I knew what they were, I knew what they did, and I knew they weren't toys. For this being your show, you don't talk at all. I've talked a lot.
That's because you guys are going on gun diatribe, and I'm just listening. I'm like Donahue. I pose a question and everybody else talks.
No, no, it's just because the last time you handled a gun, you pointed it at Bandit.
I really wasn't appreciative of that.
But it was his own weapon.
At least use yours. I mean, come on.
We'll find free time to teach you eventually.
Don't you touch me.
Well, no.
You like that?
Okay, and yeah.
So, anyways, how about
we play gay chicken all night?
I have no shame, dude.
So I'm going to quote
comfortable with my
Federalist Paper number
sexuality.
46, written by James Madison, concerning the fear of a standing federal
Time out.
army
Where's your dog?
inside.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
Fair.
The journal's in his quarters.
Let's not forget the real reason why the Second Amendment exists. The Second Amendment exists because the founders feared the power of the federal government. They knew that an unarmed populace was a populace that could easily be oppressed by a government. It didn't matter if it was an elected government or not. Look how our elected government doesn't listen to the laws. So Madison wrote this in Federalist Paper 46. To these would be opposed to a militia amounting to nearly 500,000 of citizens with arms in their hands, officered by men chosen from among themselves, fighting for their common liberties and united and conducted by government possessing their affections and confidence. Besides the advantages of being armed, which the Americans possess over the people of almost every other nation, the existence of subordinate governments to which the people are attached and by which the militia officers are appointed forms a barrier against the enterprise of ambition more insurmountable than any which a simple government of any form can admit of. Notwithstanding the military establishment of several kingdoms of Europe, which are carried as far as the public resources will bear, the governments are afraid to trust the people with arms. basically, tyrants don't like it when people have guns because then they can stop them. So anyone who's sitting there saying, we gotta give up your guns for your safety, I bet you they believe in big government. And I bet you that there are also people who are saying, you can have an abortion because that's your choice. But you can't drink a 32-ounce soda because you're too stupid to know that'll make you fat.
Yup.
He speaks! Because we talked about being fat.
Anyway.
And I just got fired.
He wishes that 32-ounce soda law came about a little
Anyway.
sooner.
You know, Alpha Bear does need a 32-ounce soda law because clearly that's the only thing that would stop him.
Wow.
Because Alpha Bear is not smart enough to buy two 16-ounce sodas.
What the fuck? When did this become Bash on Me hour?
The very first night.
Anyway.
I'm sorry this has digressed so far. The only reason I wanted to share this article was because I was very upset that a child got suspended from school for doing what was right.
And that's the problem with progressive ideology of zero tolerance. It punishes people who do things intelligently. Oh, you can't have a gun. You brought a gun to school and you did the right thing? Oh, no, screw you. You still have a gun. You're going to rot in hell where you belong. But it's not hell because we don't believe in hell. You're going to rot in the ground like everyone else.
You know what that teaches the kid, too?
Hide it.
Yeah, teaches him, oh, well, if I do the right thing, I get in trouble. I'm doing the wrong thing. Screw this.
Lie, cheat, and steal.
And that's the problem with society because these people are like so afraid of a gun that they teach the kid to lie. Be intelligent. You brought a toy to school.
By accident.
There was a kid who was suspended for bringing he took his backpack on a Boy Scout trip. He forgot his pocket knife in there. He turned it into the principal and they suspended him for that. Sir, I forgot I had this. Can you have my mom come and get it? You know, a sensible person would say, sure, you do know that you shouldn't bring this to school. I know, I forgot. Okay. And if you're going to do something, give them a lunch detention. Like, hey, you know, because you brought it here, I have to give you a lunch detention, but it's cool, you know. You can do...
Thank you for bringing this to my
attention. And I'm sorry they have to do this. That's the rule. But they go down and they bring the book down on these kids. It's ridiculous.
Exactly.
My dad used to put a shotgun in the locker of his in high school.
And go shooting after school.
Yeah. People are retarded.
People are retarded, but, you know.
E-tatted, sorry, you're not allowed to use ours anymore.
Sorry. E-tatted. Anyway, that's all the time we have for this week's show. We'll be back next week with some more hot button topics that we'll digress on. For the Captain, the Bandit, and Saber, I'm the Alpha Bear. Thanks for listening. Follow us on WordPress at the Nomad's Guide to the World.wordpress.com, and we'll see you guys next week.